CQ, CQ, this is W9GFO. Is anybody out there?
Other people need to see what I've seen. They need to see...
This is the way it's been done for billions of years. Small moves, Ellie. Small moves.
Xisumavoid is disabled. He doesn't refer to himself in those terms, but he does refer to his physical conditions. And I've always been impressed by the fact that he has such good control of the mouse and the keyboard, because his fine motor skills are not very good. Neither is the circulation in his hands. He's always cold. And I didn't learn about the hands until I started watching his, what are they called? Streams. I don't watch them live because I don't need one more thing on this poor little tablet making it run hot. And besides watching a live stream, I can't just, if the dogs are barking at something outside, I gotta go see what it is, and what if I gotta pee, and, just stuff. Plus, I can only watch somebody do what I do in Minecraft for so long before I get the itch, and either I want to play Minecraft or I'm too tired to play Minecraft, and watching him just makes me tired, So he's always doing big contraptions, redstone stuff, and what the heck? Oh, it's a cat. Maybe I should move that cat out of the way so that tree doesn't kill it if it decides to sprout. Or so the cat doesn't keep the tree from sprouting. That could be a problem too. So I've always been impressed by how well he builds and how quickly. But I'd never, I was on that server he was trying to start up. He really wanted to have a game server, but in the meantime, he opened a Plot World creative server, and I mean, some of the best young minds in the game were hanging out on that server. I loved it there. I really did. As the kids were just unbelievably talented, I was gonna try to find ways to get XP, because I need to fix my shears. I've been cutting down trees and planting mushrooms, making houses for the villagers. And I planted a couple more trees. Like over yonder, there needs to be trees closer to those farms. So there needs to be mushrooms so they'll have houses. So yeah, I'm trying to get some cheap XP to fix my shears. Oh, which reminds me, do I have any food to feed animals? I should probably know that, huh? It would help. Oh, am I squatting? No, I'm pressing the wrong button. So I was, he's got all kinds of bells and whistles and tools that make it easier to build. They build in survival on Hermitcraft, but they don't do it the way us noobs and ordinary people do it. They've got stuff, I'm not going to go through describing all of it because I'll probably describe it wrong. And Zoom will tell you what they use. But it's like there's a holographic thing where you can go into creative or whatever and build some kind of a structure. And then you come into your survival world, and you've made a copy of it, and when you paste it, it makes a hologram image, just a transparent image that you can see just enough so that you can put up the blocks. There's another one where you just go one row at a time from the bottom to the top to rebuild a thing. So there's all kinds of stuff like that. And they've got free cam so they can fly away and go look at it and see if it looks good, and dive down under the surface and see what's, cheaty stuff. Well, it's not cheating. They can play it however they want, right? So I've always been impressed with his builds, but being able to watch these streams and watching it from this perspective, like this is now, this is Zuma's hand, right? And I'm so watching it from this perspective and seeing how quickly he can place blocks. Of course, he's got, close to 15 years of experience. He ought to be able to place a block by now. And he still makes the same derpy mistakes all of us do, and forgets to do things. And, he's human, and that's nice, because it's validating to see that he's as big of a goofball as I am. And, he's running back and forth and can't find anything. And he's so organized. But he's always trying to do so many things. Well, back in the day, he would come on that server, and I know this because I was a fool and did it too. I could spend 14, 16 hours a day on that server working on that big giant tree we were all building and helping out with community builds and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to learn everything, So the more exposure I got to how Minecraft works, especially since I had a little world edit and stuff, I was there all the time trying to learn things. So I'd see him, he's in England, so about midnight is when British people wake up. I know because I had a couple of friends in Great Britain when I first got the game that I used to play with. So they would be up about midnight, and we'd play, my time. So about, I don't know, is that about 6 a.m. their time? Well, anyway, so we'd play a couple hours, and then I'd go to bed, and they'd go to work. And then in the evening, we'd kind of do this, evening my time. It'd be morning their time, you know what I mean? So, but I know darn well he was in there 16 hours a day, because I saw him come in, I saw him leave. So, working on stuff and consulting with his builders, and making redstone contraptions with, what was his name? Fenaman, I think, and a bunch of other people. So there was always something going on. And I remember something about his videos, too, that he would be so focused on one project that he would just work and work and work and work and work and work on that project. Well, you know what it comes from? We are, especially working class people, and I have a feeling Zoom is working class. Working class people are taught that no matter what, you got to keep working. No matter how bad you feel, you got to finish the task. And usually the kind of work we get is very repetitive. Factory work, taking care of old people, gardening, cleaning houses. We have to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and really stress particular parts of our body until by the time you get home, you're just like, oh, and it doesn't get a chance to rest. That part of your body doesn't get a chance to rest. It just gets worse and worse and worse. Well, I had a really abusive parent and another parent that just pretended it wasn't happening. So I went through a lot of stuff, and I didn't know. I thought all kids were treated the way I was. In fact, I thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't handle it as well as other kids did, not knowing they didn't have to handle what I was handling. So I got thrown around a lot. That's why I have brain injuries and post-traumatic stress disorder and so on. I have this thing on my left shoulder. I don't know how to describe it, but from the top of my shoulder all the way down to my rib cage, sometimes it feels like there's a knife in there. It even hurts to breathe. It's because I got thrown around. It's because of the factory work and my first job was at a department store, and I had to wear high heels and climb ladders and stuff to do inventory, because even when the store was closed to customers and we were just counting how much stuff was left and making reports and so on, we had to wear high heels. So climbing ladders and picking up big heavy boxes wearing high heels. And they call them the weaker sex, right? So I've got a lot of permanent damage. And of course now I'm almost 70 years old, so it's not any more fun. I'm looking for food. I decided these things over here weren't accessible enough to me, that I'd have to go in the house, and that takes time, and you know how hard it is for me to walk here, so I decided I'd put these trap doors on the outside so these chests are in here, I can access them from outside without even having to go in. I do need a crafting table out here, though. Or access to one, so I'll put it in a doorway or under a window or something. So I got a lot of permanent, awful, terrible pain. A lot. And I also have this ethic that I have to work no matter what. I have to work. And basically, I should just ignore the pain, pretend it's not affecting me, and just keep working. Because if I don't, I'll get fired. Then I won't have money to pay the rent, and it could be worse. That's the mentality. It could be worse if I don't keep pushing myself. Well, I was watching Zoomy yesterday, and I was so proud to see this thing that he was doing. He has several big, giant things he's doing, and one of them is a really complicated build where he's having to go from one corner of the roof to the other corner of the roof of a really big building. And it's not easy to get to the roof, because the roof is up high. And it's got a match. And it's very complicated. He's doing this really ornate, elaborate design, which I think, no, I'm not going to do that. So I was watching him yesterday, and he got to a point where he was working on that, and he's also working on animating armor stands. So they will have it'll give the illusion of having of one armor stand having 5 different poses, as opposed to 6 armor stands, one of which is visible and the others of which are invisible, and moving in tandem, so they end up looking like it's one thing animated. So he's working on that and trying to figure out the code, and the instructions aren't very clear, and so. After a while, and then there's redstone involved and so on, which doesn't faze him. I mean, he just plunks down his redstone box and says, okay, well, now it needs a doohickey, and now it needs a thingamabob, and I didn't put enough whiz bangs. And he just does it on the fly. He's done it so long. I mean, to him, it's no harder than tying your shoes, I reckon. Although I even have trouble tying my shoes. So I was very impressed with what I was seeing, but the thing that really impressed me was this. When he got tired of working on that complicated roof, he quit. Well, we'll do this later. I didn't know that was a phrase he could say. And he went on and went over and worked on the armor stands for a while. And we got aggravated with that. He'd go do something else and, we'll do it later. I was so impressed by that. He's not driving himself nuts anymore. With that kind of perfection thing where everything's gotta... Zuma loves solving problems. That's why he's so good at redstone. He loves solving problems for whatever reason. He's a problem solver. That's what he does. This poor stem came out of here. That's not a good way to do this, is it? Nope. Okay. Well, now we know, right? But instead of being completely obsessed with it to the point where he's making himself tired and getting grouchy, he just went on and did something else. And I thought about how that has changed for me, too. It's become physically necessary. I can't anymore. I can't just concentrate on just the one thing until I'm basically bleeding, falling apart. And right now, with Minecraft being so hard for me on a tablet, and not having my, yes, I know, not having my keyboard and stuff set up, Minecraft's really rough. It's hard to play on servers. It's just really rough. It's not easy to do this. So I'm just doing remedial tasks, and I know that seems it's probably boring to all y'all. But I'm real proud of the fact that I know now not to do something until it makes me sick. Because I didn't know that. For the longest time, I thought you just had to do it. With survival, I did have to do it. There was no option. It was do it or get fired. And getting fired was not an option because I'm proud to say that I've been, I'm not really proud because it was just luck that I haven't been homeless more often than I have, worse than I have, that I haven't developed substance abuse issues as a result, because I did self-medicate a lot when I was a kid. I did a lot of mind-altering chemicals to try to reduce the pain and the anxiety and the stress and the panic. I was a homeless teenager, throwaway kid. Well, a runaway kid, actually, because it was getting to the point where it was lethal. I didn't dare stay. I did not dare stay. I hope I have some potatoes. Yeah, I have 33 potatoes. What's the point of beetroot? Can you tell me? Because I don't get it. Okay, you can make stew. But I wish they hadn't done this. They're trying to do some kind of vegetarian option. It's just not working. So I'm proud to say that somehow I've managed to give myself permission to be sick and to be weak and to not have to do it all at once. That the projects will get done. Yes, it's aggravating. I would love to have more rails here, for instance, because I would really like to be shuttling stuff up and down from the why am I not opening this? I sneak. I sneak on the garden, so I don't stomp on the stuff. And I still screw up this stuff sometimes anyway. But it would be nice to have that to get around so I can... There should be a hoe. There's no hoe? Why there is no hoe? This makes no sense. There should be a hoe. Okay, I don't know. See, like that. I was on unsneak. You saw what happened? Oh, Lordy. So I'm real proud of the fact that I'm not killing myself anymore, but I do still tell myself I should be killing myself. And that concerns me a lot. I deserve better than that. You know, I'm a good person, and I've worked hard my whole life, and I'm not hurting anybody by taking the time I need. For instance, going outside right now to work and cleaning up all the mess that the animals made and the wind made and all that stuff. Yeah, I probably should be out there working. And it's just above freezing right now. And I'm 69 years old, so I'm going to wait until the weather warms up a little bit and do an hour or two outside and then come back in before I'm hurting, you know? In fact, I'm hurting right now. Minecraft is physically painful for me to play. I don't have an adequate setup here, so I'm leaning over this tablet so I can see it better. That projector is coming in a couple of days. And so I'm leaning over it and hurting my back and shoulder on that side where I've got damage. I'm squinting a lot trying to see because, you know, I can't see this thing. So those are potatoes now. Yeah, okay. So I can only play a little bit at a time. If I do any more, I'm going to be damaged, and I do need to go outside and work, and I don't need to be in so much pain from being in here doing stuff. And I don't mean just playing Minecraft. I mean doing chores and, you know, doing stuff in here, because like I said, I want to make my house nice for winter. Getting ready to bring in that, what's it called, that screen, so I can have it to see from my chair and from my bed. Getting things prepared, you know. But it was nice to see that Zuma has decided that there's more to life than breaking your neck, too. I think that happens a lot in this game. I think a lot of people feel a lot of pressure to try to, I don't know, be superhuman, be perfect. There's pressure from YouTube. You gotta put up so many videos so many times a week, and they gotta be by this and that and the other specification. There's just a lot of pressure in this. And it's not fair to the players, and it's, I think it's actually not fair to the viewers either, because viewers see that and think, well, that's how you're supposed to play the game. Do it at breakneck speed as fast as you can. See, I knew that was a problem. Okay. As fast as you can, as hard as you can. You know, I mean, it's to the point now where, like, on Hermitcraft, you don't even get to see them kill the dragon anymore, right? So, and I think that ought to change. I think they ought to play slower and have more fun doing this stuff. There's plenty of adventures involved in doing this stuff. I don't have the creatures on, but boy, if you do, and you're just pooting around doing this kind of thing without that fancy netherite or whatever it's called, and without all the enchantments, I mean all the enchantments, it's more fun this way because it's riskier. It's actually riskier not to be encased in diamond and fancy stuff and with all the OP weapons and all that. You know, it's a lot riskier. So it's a lot more nervous making, that's for sure. Did I still have any? No, I don't. Okay. Because I cut down trees today and I cut leaves and I composted them, and that's why I have so many new thingies now. So I take a lot of breaks. I'm going to wait here this time because I'm not done. I wonder what they're saying to the carrots. I wonder why they do that. Why do they do that? They don't save them. They just let them. Why do they do that? What does it mean? Why do you do that? Oops, I better step down. My dogs are barking. Somebody's probably here. Oh, you know, my neighbor has horses, and they've been coming by for some reason. I don't know why. So why do they do that? Why do they waste the carrots? That one in particular does it all the time. Just waits for him to, and there's a composter right there. You could use the composter. I don't know. You're not even supposed to be here. You're from the Arctic, and you're out here in the meadow. It's so confusing. This game is so confusing. So it's about not killing myself, and I'm trying to play catch up so hard. I've missed out on 10 years of the game. And I see these people doing these really fun, interesting, exciting, innovative things, and I just, will I ever catch up? Am I smart enough? Am I strong enough? But if I break myself, that's just going to make it worse. And that's what happened the last time. I let other people set the pace, and the pace was not human. It was not a human pace. And now I'm saying no. I'm going to do it the way I need to do it. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I better go out and protect the neighbor's horses from my dogs. You are alive. Wake up. I'd hug you, but my arms don't bend. Bye.
I will kill you.
Like, dislike, share, comment, subscribe, or the dog gets it!